Why more income still does not make people rich. Never do these if you want financial freedom. Never increase your income then immediately upgrade your bills. Never treat a raise like permission to spend more. Never confuse a better lifestyle with a better financial life. Because this is how people earn more money and still feel broke. The salary improves. The phone improves. The car improves. The apartment improves. The restaurants improve. But somehow, the freedom does not. Congratulations. You finally made more money. Then you built a more expensive cage. That is not progress. That is lifestyle inflation, wearing nicer clothes. Most people think their money problem is income. They say, if I just earned more, everything would be fine. And sometimes, that is true. Low income is real. Rising prices are real. Bills are real. Pressure is real. But there is another truth people do not want to face. Some people do not have an income problem anymore. They have a control problem. The money comes in. Then the lifestyle follows it. A raise becomes a new monthly payment. A bonus becomes a shopping excuse. A promotion becomes a reason to upgrade. A better salary becomes a better version of the same pressure. And that is the trap. Lifestyle inflation does not feel like failure. It feels like reward. You worked hard. You sacrificed. You waited. You finally earned more. So now, you deserve better. That sentence sounds empowering. But sometimes, it is the beginning of a financial trap. You deserve better. Better food. Better clothes. Better gadgets. Better travel. Better housing. Better status. Better everything. But here is the question most people avoid. If every increase in income creates a new expense, where does freedom actually come from? Because freedom is not created by earning more alone. Freedom is created by keeping more control after the money arrives. That is the difference between income and financial progress. Income is what comes in. Progress is what stays useful. Income can make you look better. Progress makes you harder to break. And most people confuse the two. They celebrate a higher salary. But they ignore higher obligations. They celebrate a new job. But they build a new lifestyle before building a margin. They celebrate a promotion. Then immediately create a more expensive month. Great job. You escaped one level of financial pressure and designed a premium version of it. That is the problem with lifestyle inflation. It does not usually arrive loudly. It arrives politely. A slightly better phone plan. A slightly better car. A slightly bigger apartment. A few more deliveries. A few more subscriptions. A few more weekend expenses. A few more, I deserve this, moments. Nothing feels dangerous by itself. That is exactly why it works. Lifestyle inflation does not destroy people with one giant decision. It usually wins through small upgrades that feel reasonable. One upgrade becomes normal. Then the next upgrade feels reasonable too. Then the next one. Then the next one. Until the life that once felt optional becomes the new minimum. That is when the trap becomes invisible. At first, the upgrade feels special. Later, it becomes standard. And once it becomes standard, cutting back feels like failure. That is how people become trapped by a life they once dreamed of. Ask yourself this. How many things in your life used to feel like luxury but now feel normal? How many expenses started as a reward but became a requirement? How many upgrades actually improved your peace? And how many just raised the cost of being you? That question matters. Because money does not only pay bills. Money pays for identity. People buy things not only because they need them. They buy things because those things tell a story. A better phone says I am updated. A nicer car says I am improving. A better apartment says I am moving up. A vacation says my life is exciting. A new outfit says I am not behind. And when income rises, people do not only upgrade their spending. They upgrade the character they want to play. Congratulations. You did not just buy a lifestyle. You bought evidence that you are becoming someone. That is why lifestyle inflation is emotional. It is not just budgeting. It is identity. It is comparison. It is pressure. It is the fear of looking like your old level. And that fear can be expensive. Because once people start earning more, they often feel they must look like it. They feel embarrassed to live the same way. They feel pressure to upgrade. They feel pressure to prove progress. But real progress does not always look impressive. Sometimes, real progress looks boring. Same phone. Same car. Same clothes. Same apartment. More savings. Less debt. More cash flow. More breathing room. More peace. But that kind of progress does not get applause. Nobody claps when you avoid a monthly payment. Nobody posts your emergency fund. Nobody compliments your lower expenses. Nobody sees the stress you avoided. That is why people choose visible progress over invisible strength. But invisible strength is what protects you. The new gadget does not protect you when a bill arrives. The expensive dinner does not protect you when income stops. The upgraded image does not protect you when debt grows. The emergency fund does. The margin does. The controlled lifestyle does. The money you did not spend does. That is the part people ignore. The money you keep has a job too. It gives you time. It gives you options. It gives you patience. It gives you the ability to say no. It gives you the power to avoid desperate decisions. But lifestyle inflation eats that power before you can use it. It turns extra income into extra obligations. And once your obligations grow, your freedom shrinks. This is why a person can earn more and still feel trapped. Their income went up. But their fixed expenses went up too. Their salary increased. But their required lifestyle increased with it. Their comfort improved. But their flexibility disappeared. So now, they are earning more just to maintain a more expensive version of the same stress. Smart move. You made the game harder right after getting stronger. That is what happens when income growth is not protected. A raise should create margin. A raise should create savings. A raise should reduce pressure. A raise should give you more control. But if every raise becomes a lifestyle upgrade, then the raise never becomes power. It becomes fuel for a more expensive routine. This is why business owners understand cash flow better than most employees. A business can grow revenue and still fail. More sales do not automatically mean more profit. More customers do not automatically mean more cash. More activity does not automatically mean more stability. If expenses grow faster than revenue, the business becomes fragile. Personal finance works the same way. You are not rich because more money passes through your account. You are more secure when more money remains under your control. That is the cash flow truth. Your lifestyle is like a business. Your income is revenue. Your expenses are operating costs. Your savings are retained profit. Your debt is pressure. Your emergency fund is liquidity. Your investments are future production. And your ego is often the most expensive department. Think about that. How much of your money is going to real needs? And how much is going to protect an image? How much is buying actual value? And how much is buying social comfort? How much is making your future stronger? And how much is making your present look more impressive? These questions are uncomfortable. That is why they are useful. Because lifestyle inflation loves vague thinking. It loves phrases like, "I deserve it." "It is only once." "It is not that expensive." "Everyone has one." "I can afford the payment." "I will save next month." Those lines sound harmless. But they are often the language of delay. Delay discipline. Delay savings. Delay debt control. Delay the hard decision. Delay the future until the future becomes expensive. And then people wonder why they feel stuck. Here is the hidden truth. Many people are not stuck because they never had a chance to grow. They are stuck because every time they grew, they raised the cost of their own survival. That is lifestyle inflation. It turns progress into maintenance. It turns more income into more pressure. It turns success into a new monthly bill. And the worst part is, it feels normal. Everyone is doing it. Everyone upgrades. Everyone spends. Everyone finances. Everyone posts. Everyone looks successful. But if everyone is stressed, maybe everyone is not a good model. They say you should enjoy life. That is true. But the harder truth is, enjoying life today should not make tomorrow harder to survive. They say money is meant to be spent. That is true too. But money is also meant to protect you. They say you only live once. Correct. So why spend your one life working for bills you created to impress people who are not paying them? That is the question. Who benefits from your upgraded lifestyle? You? Your future? Your family? Your peace? Or the companies that turned your insecurity into monthly revenue? Because every industry understands lifestyle inflation. Banks understand it. Car companies understand it. Phone companies understand it. Fashion brands understand it. Travel apps understand it. Food delivery apps understand it. Subscription companies understand it. They know people want to feel upgraded. They know people compare themselves. They know people reward themselves after stress. They know people will pay monthly to avoid feeling behind. And they package the upgrade as identity. You are not buying a phone. You are buying relevance. You are not buying a car. You are buying status. You are not buying a vacation. You are buying proof that life is improving. You are not buying subscriptions. You are buying comfort without thinking. Congratulations. You turned emotional pressure into recurring revenue for someone else. That is not accidental. That is modern consumer design. It is not enough to sell you one product. The system wants to become part of your monthly life. Because recurring payments are powerful. A one-time purchase ends. A monthly payment continues. A subscription continues. A loan continues. An installment continues. A lifestyle continues. And once your life is built on recurring expenses, you need your income to keep running just to stay still. That is not financial freedom. That is a treadmill with better branding. The scary part is not that you spend money. Everyone spends money. The scary part is when your expenses quietly become your identity. Because then, cutting expenses feels like losing yourself. You do not just cancel a subscription. You feel deprived. You do not just delay an upgrade. You feel behind. You do not just choose a cheaper option. You feel embarrassed. That is when the lifestyle owns you. Not because you enjoy it, but because you are afraid to live without it. That is why financial maturity requires emotional strength. It is not just math. It is the ability to be unimpressed by things designed to impress you. It is the ability to earn more without immediately spending more. It is the ability to enjoy life without letting enjoyment become a bill that follows you around. It is the ability to say, I can afford this, but I choose not to buy it yet. That sentence is powerful. Because most people only practice restraint when they have no choice. But real control is restraint even when you have options. That is where financial freedom begins. Not when you earn millions. Not when people admire you. Not when your lifestyle looks expensive. It begins when your income rises and your ego does not immediately spend the difference. Use this rule. When your income increases, do not upgrade your lifestyle immediately. Let the increase breathe. Let the money stay. Let your cash flow improve. Let your emergency fund grow. Let your debt shrink. Let your options expand. Then decide what upgrade is worth it. Because not all upgrades are wrong. A better home can be worth it. Better food can be worth it. Travel can be worth it. Comfort can be worth it. But only when the upgrade does not steal your future control. That is the standard. Does this upgrade increase my peace? Or only my image? Does this purchase fit my real cash flow? Or only my fantasy income? Will this make next month easier? Or just make today look better? Will I still want this after the emotion fades? Or am I buying a temporary feeling? These questions slow the trap down. And that matters. Because lifestyle inflation thrives on speed. Fast promotion. Fast spending. Fast checkout. Fast approval. Fast delivery. Fast dopamine. Slow thinking breaks the pattern. Before you upgrade, pause. Before you finance, pause. Before you reward yourself, pause. Before you say, I deserve this, ask a better question. Do I deserve the pressure that comes with it? That question can save you years. Because the goal is not to suffer. The goal is to stop confusing spending with progress. You can enjoy life and still build wealth. You can buy nice things and still be disciplined. You can upgrade without becoming trapped. But the order matters. Foundation first. Image later. Cash flow first. Lifestyle later. Emergency fund first. Luxury later. Debt control first. Rewards later. Most people reverse the order. They buy the image first. Then try to build the foundation later. They upgrade first. Then try to save later. They chase comfort first. Then try to find peace later. And then they wonder why financial freedom feels far away. Starting from zero? Stop trying to look successful first. Start by becoming stable. Stability is underrated because it is not flashy. But stability is the first form of wealth. Stable cash flow. Stable obligations. Stable habits. Stable savings. stable emotions, stable decisions. Without stability, more money just creates a bigger mess. With stability, even a small increase can become powerful. That is the difference. Lifestyle inflation uses income to create more pressure. Financial discipline uses income to create more control. One makes life look better. The other makes life actually better. And deep down, most people know which one they're choosing. They feel it when payday arrives and disappears. They feel it when a raise does not bring relief. They feel it when they earn more but still panic over unexpected bills. They feel it when the lifestyle looks good outside but feels heavy inside. That feeling is information. Do not ignore it. It is your cash flow telling the truth. The truth is simple. If more income does not create more freedom, something is absorbing it. Find that thing. Name it. Control it. Because the money is not disappearing. It is being assigned. To bills. To image. To convenience. To impulse. To subscriptions. To debt. To old decisions. To a version of yourself that keeps demanding proof that life is improving. But proof does not have to be visible. Proof can be a lower balance. Proof can be a growing emergency fund. Proof can be a calmer month. Proof can be saying no without fear. Proof can be buying something later with peace instead of buying now with pressure. That is financial progress. Quiet. Boring. Invisible. Powerful. And if you can accept that real progress may not impress people, you can finally start building it. Because wealth is not only what you show. Wealth is what you no longer fear. The bill you can handle. The delay you can survive. The opportunity you can take. The emergency that does not destroy you. The job you can leave when it becomes toxic. The decision you can make without begging for financial permission. That is what lifestyle inflation steals. Not just money. Options. Peace. Time. Patience. Power. So the next time your income rises, do not ask, "What can I buy now?" Ask, "What pressure can I remove? What future can I protect? What freedom can I build? What habit can I keep while everyone else upgrades too early?" Because the people who win financially are not always the ones who earn the most first. They are often the ones who stop letting every increase become a new expense. They let the gap grow. The gap between income and lifestyle. That gap is where freedom begins. That gap is where savings grow. That gap is where debt dies. That gap is where choices appear. Protect the gap. Because if your income rises but your lifestyle rises just as fast, you are not moving forward. You are only running on a more expensive treadmill. This is Vexonomy. The psychology of money, debt, cash flow, and the financial systems that quietly shape how people build wealth or lose control. Because financial freedom does not begin when you earn more. It begins when more of what you earn finally stays under your control.